PUBG just announced the EMEA PGC points breakdown, which means we have a whole lot of information about how teams will qualify to PGC, what that means for PGS, and some info as well about the prize pool. So I want to quickly go through all the information we got, break it down for you because it's a lot to take on the first read. But yeah, maybe we can make it a little bit easier. I think we should probably tackle the schedule first. And you can see it on your screen right now. We have the first regional series, which is going to be PGC Spring. We're going to have PGS 1, big international LAN. We're going to have regional series, PGS 2, regional series, PNC. So we already know that the middle regional series is not going to be a PAC. We don't have that much information about what that's going to be. But we know that the qualifier to PGS 2 has to be that other regional series. So when we look back over towards the multiple events that we have per year, the middle one is the one with the least PGC points, but it should be one of the two that qualifies the teams for PGS 2. So every event has really its own importance. PEC 1, a lot of PGC points, 2 slots for PGS 1. Event 2, not as many points, probably not as much prize pool, but a qualification to PGS 2. And then PEC Fall is the one where you can literally not play the rest of the year, but if you win it, you go to PGC. The big info here is as well, all the PGC points are coming out of this, right? PGS is going to be a smaller factor in a way than this. They want to reward teams who consistently perform across all regions, but obviously they also want to put a little bit more emphasis on the end. To be fair here, from 4,400 to 4,900, that is only a 10% increase. That is very mild. So apart from the first place spot instantly going, I think it's pretty fair. You can perform well in the start of the year and it will help you a lot. Furthermore, we'll be making sure both Europe and EMEA are represented by at least one team each in PGC. That means there's again a free MEA slot, which means they don't have to be anywhere near the top 8. The best MEA team can be very far at the bottom and still make it. Last year, BBL wasn't struggling at all, so that wasn't really a thing. But it's still interesting. It keeps things it's going to make things a little bit tricky, but it's going to mean an MEA team will always go. Overall, there is 6 slots, the top 5 teams and the winner. So if the winner's in the top 6, that's how it is. If the winner's out of the top 6, then the top 5 teams plus the winner. Usually the winner of PC is in the top 6, but sometimes that doesn't happen. Another really big detail is we have all the partners invited to PGS, and we have 2 slots for Europe, 5 for Asia, 6 for APAC, 3 for Americas, which is one of the reasons why some teams want to go to APAC right now, for example, because double the slots that Americas have, so a lot easier to really build a career or to really have a sustainable income, maybe, if you're playing in APAC. Another big detail for PGC at the end of the year is that the host region gets 1 slot. That's going to be interesting. And 4 of the PGS teams get slots, which means these are out of region slots. So in theory, there could be a world where there's 10 Europe teams going to PGC. And if PGC would be in Europe, which it's never going to be, it would be even 11. So there's a lot of people that are a little bit upset about the regional slots that Europe got. I think a lot of that is down to viewership. We are simply not as big as Asia or APAC. But I think what people are kind of missing out on is the 4 PGS slots. So if any region does well internationally, then that region will get more slots at PGC. And that's a big chance for regions like Europe or Americas. For example, Americas is a prime example where they have really, really strong top teams and then it falls off super hard. But if those top teams pop off on PGS, suddenly they're looking at 6 slots for PGC instead of 4, for example. Suddenly it's a completely different picture. It's a completely different story. So I think that's one part of the format that people haven't really talked about, but it's pretty cool. Don't forget about Nations Cup. Towards the end of the year, Nations Cup is basically going to be between the competitive season and PGC. Overall, to sum it up, we will have 3 regional events. 2 of those will be PECs. 2 of those 3 will be used to qualify for PGSs, which are going to be the big international LANs. And then at the end of the year, we'll have the usual World Championship, PGC. You're going to mainly qualify to PGC through the regional events, but 4 teams in total will qualify from PGS as well, which means there's a chance the region balance gets shifted around a little bit. In addition to those 3 regionals, 2 PGSs, and 1 PGC, we'll also have PNC right before the end of the year. So while I think everything is pretty doom and gloom right now and everyone's very upset, we still have a lot of awesome events coming this year. And that is not including any third-party events, any smaller events that might be coming your way. So I'm really not as sad as other people are. And with PEC picking off start of March, that we'll finally have some PUBG esports again. I'll be making a whole lot of content for that. So stick around, and I'll see you guys soon.